Hey everyone, and welcome back to Splash. Today we're going to be talking about 15 more times The Simpsons predicted the future. Make sure to stay until the end so you don't miss out on the craziest thing The Simpsons predicted. You're gonna be shocked. Number 15, Killer Bees. Yep, The Simpsons did it again. It seems that The Simpsons predicted the most recent 2020 event that had us all worried, the Killer Bees. Let's take a look at what happened here.
I'm cured! Ow!
This clip actually comes from the same 1993 episode that sparked the initial speculation that The Simpsons predicted the virus. It started from season 4, where Marge and Chains depicted a weird virus from Osaka, Japan, that sweeps through the Simpsons town of Springfield. In that episode, an assembly line worker in Japan becomes ill with the flu and sneezes into boxes carrying a hot new item that will be shipped to numerous Springfield residents, including Homer Simpson.
Cure! We need a cure!
Why, the only cure is bed rest. Anything.
The town's inhabitants become scared and panic, demanding a cure, a placebo even. In their anger and desperation, they knock over a truck in an attempt to find a treatment, but instead release a beehive from a box marked Danger, Killer Bees. And well, you know what happens from there.
Species that has scientists on high alert, the so-called murder hornets, arriving in the United States for the first time, and experts are warning they could decimate.
Number 14, Three-Eyed Fish.
Sir. All right, we eat tonight.
Wait a minute. 1, 2.
Early on in season 2, episode 4, The Simpsons would unravel a strangely accurate prediction, the Three-Eyed Fish. Blinky is one of the most iconic images from the world of The Simpsons. The Three-Eyed Fish was the first found by Bart in the episode 2 cars in every garage and 3 eyes on every fish, where it strongly implied that the fish was mutated by the Springfield nuclear power plant.
Well, leave it to good old Mary Bailey to finally step.
Life imitated art when a three-eyed fish was found in a reservoir in Argentina in 2011. And yes, the reservoir was being fed water from a nuclear power station. Unlike Blinky, that real three-eyed fish is not a cutesy cartoon, but actually a terrifying nightmare. Good thing they aren't common because they just seem plain scary. Number 13, Autocorrect. Being one of the longest running shows, The Simpsons has lived through technological advances and incredible gadgets. Many of what we have now can even be seen as a joke or a gag on the show, years before they ever hit the market. In 1994, though, The Simpsons had an episode that featured the cons of autocorrect. Now, autocorrect can definitely be pretty annoying at times, and The Simpsons somehow saw that before smartphones were ever invented.
Beat up, Martin.
In the episode, a character pulls out an electric memo pad and writes "Beat up Martha." The writing is then translated from handwriting in a text and corrects it to "Eat up Martha." This episode even inspired Apple to later focus on making sure their keyboards in autocorrect would be stable enough to prevent any Marthas from being eaten up. Number 12, smartwatches. The Simpsons made another amazing foreshadow in season 6, episode 19, where they apparently predicted the invention of smartwatches. The Simpsons initially introduced the idea of a watch that you could use as a phone in an episode that aired in 1995. Let's take a look here.
Oh, blast. Go to plan B.
And guess what? Nearly 20 years later, Apple announced that they would be releasing their own Apple Watch. Many other technology companies followed their footsteps and created smartwatches of their own, such as Samsung. Talk about a coincidence.
This watch tells time and turns on lights and opens up doors.
Number 11, Disney buys everything.
Any celebrity, living or dead.
Well, I'll always have my crank calls.
Today, we all know that Disney is a massive company. They aren't just Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. They actually own Marvel and 20th Century Fox, just to name a few. And one episode of The Simpsons aired nearly 2 decades before the acquisition of a shot at 20th Century Fox logo is seen. Under it in fine print it says, a division of Walt Disney Company. It seems that they predicted that Fox would be owned by Disney sooner or later. Either way, that's pretty cool stuff.
Deal that reshapes the entertainment biz, so Disney is buying a big chunk of Fox.
For $52 billion.
Number 10, Nobel Prize winner.
It's 4 a.m. You kids should have been in bed a half hour ago.
We're watching the Nobel Prize announcements live from Stockholm.
Ooh, the Nobies.
Bengt Holmstrom may not have won the Nobel Prize in economics until 2016, but one Simpsons character was betting on him 6 years earlier. In the scene from the season 22 premiere in which Martin holds up a scorecard depicting his Nobel Prize betting pool with Lisa, Milhouse, and Database, the MIT professor is clearly marked in one of Milhouse's squares. It is actually scary how shockingly accurate they got of it.
In memory of Alfred Nobel for 2016 to Oliver Hart and Bengt Holmstrom.
Number 9, Donald Trump's presidency.
You know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten?
We're broke.
The country is broke.
Bart Simpson flashes forward into adulthood. Viewers learn that Lisa not only becomes president, but inherits quite a budget crunch from her predecessor, Donald Trump. She asks her aides in one scene if the country is broke. At the time, the real Trump presidency was still 16 years away. However, in a 2016 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, writer Dan Greeny explained the joke was meant as a warning to the country. That just seemed like the logical last stop before hitting bottom, he said. It was pitched because it was consistent with the vision of America going insane. Still, though, the fact that The Simpsons predicted Donald Trump being president so far back is just a crazy shot in the dark that became true.
The writer of the episode says the show always embraced that sort of over-the-top part of the American culture, and Trump is really...
Number 8, Lady Gaga's Super Bowl performance.
Oh, my monsters are beautiful. Disco studiful.
Pop culture plays a big role in The Simpsons. They love to add in icons and events to make the show feel real, modern, and of its time. In 2012, The Simpsons aired an episode that had Lady Gaga performing at the Super Bowl. Knowing Lady Gaga, they showed her performing an extravagant, over-the-top show with lots of colors, lights, and designs. In 2017, Lady Gaga came to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, and many fans instantly saw the similarities between this performance and the episode that aired 5 years prior. I mean, just look at how closely related the two scenes are. But then again, isn't it a bit easy to predict what Lady Gaga will do next? You tell me.
Don't monster me.
Whatever you say.
Number 7, Letter from the Beatles.
In response to your letter of December the 12th, 1966, my favourite colour is blue, and my real first name is Richard.
In 1991, an episode of The Simpsons saw the Beatles, Ringo Starr, diligently answering fan mail that had been written decades ago. In September 2013, 2 Beatles fans from Essex received a reply from Paul McCartney to a letter and recording that they sent to the band around 50 years ago. The recording was sent to a London theater that the band was due to play at and was found years later in a car boot sale by a historian. In 2013, the BBC's The One Show reunited the pair with their letter, plus a reply from McCartney.
Hesitant 3 seconds, I have actually puked it before I went on.
Number 6, rigged voting machine.
Ooh, one of those electronic voting dealies.
1 vote for McCain. Thank you.
No, I want to vote for Obama.
2 votes for McCain.
Ah, the classic switcheroo. They make such great punchlines. But what happens when a joke in The Simpsons becomes reality? Well, it's not so funny anymore. In one episode, Homer Simpson is at a voting machine attempting to put in his vote for Barack Obama. The machine logs his vote as one for John McCain. And when he tries again and again, the same thing happens. Another for John McCain. Now, in reality, these rigged machines were a nightmare to deal with. During the campaign of Obama and Romney, a few voting machines actually had to be taken down after votes for Obama kept changing to votes for Romney. Coincidence? Who knows, but it is awfully similar to the Simpsons scene. On top of that, they both had Barack Obama. Maybe next time The Simpsons can predict a more hopeful future. Number 5. The Censorship of Michelangelo's David. An episode from 1990 titled Itchy and Scratchy and Marge showed Springfieldians protesting against Michelangelo's statue of David being exhibited in the local museum, calling the artwork obscene for showing too much skin.
Needless brutality. I don't know if I'm having any impact at all.
The satire of the censorship came true in July of 2016 when Russian campaigners voted on whether to clothe a copy of the Renaissance statue that had been set up in central St. Petersburg. Censorship now has become a very common thing in today's society, and I guess we can thank The Simpsons for that. Number 4. Siegfried and Roy's Tiger Attack. After Springfield decides to legalize gambling, Mr. Burns opens a casino where German magicians Gunther and Ernst perform a routine, seemingly to spoof the long-running Las Vegas Siegfried and Roy show. Tragically, a bit in which the animated duo is attacked by their tiger came to fruition 10 years later when Roy Horn was mauled on stage by a white Bengal tiger, leaving him partially paralyzed and ending the long-running production. Number 3. Horse meat incident.
More testicles mean more iron.
This incident occurred during season 15, episode 19 of The Simpsons. In 1994, lunch lady Doris apparently used assorted horse parts to make lunch for students at Springfield Elementary.
Good comeback. Lunch lady Doris, have you got any grease?
Yes, we do.
Then grease me up, woman!
And well, 9 years later, the Food Safety Authority of Ireland found horse DNA in over 1/3 of beef burgers sampled from supermarkets and ready meals. On top of that, they also found pig in 85% of them. Now that is some bizarre food and an even more bizarre prediction.
They informed the big supermarkets on Monday night, but they didn't tell the public. We didn't find out that large quantities of horse meat were in their lasagnas until last night.
Number 2, the invention of the shard.
Beautiful dinnerware, Mrs. Parkfield.
Season 6, episode 19, The Simpsons seem to have predicted the invention of the shard. The Lisa's Wedding episode from 1995 with came a lot of unexpected predictions. During Lisa's trip to London, we see a skyscraper behind Tower Bridge that looks very similar to the shard. And guess what? It's even in the right location.
Designs?
Construction after the actual building of the shard started in 2009, which was 14 years later after the show came out. Wow.
Multi-use building a vertical town. It hit me at the time, if we're going to build big, then we should have a mix of uses.
Number 1, robotic librarians.
Hello. I need Ecosystem of the Marsh by Thompson.
The last copy was just signed out by...
Here's what you have been waiting for. It seems that Season 6 had a lot of predictions on this list, so why not add one more? In Season 6, Episode 19, The Simpsons would unravel probably the craziest thing yet. In Lisa's Wedding, we discover that librarians have been replaced with robots in the Simpsons universe.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Of course not. You're a robot.
Fast forward more than 20 years later, robotic students from the University of Aberystwyth built a prototype for a walking library robot. Also, scientists in Singapore have started to begin testing their own robot librarians. Will there be a robot takeover? Well, who knows? Guess we just have to ask The Simpsons to find out. While you are here, go ahead and click on one of these videos on your screen, and we'll see you there.